Yo, damn. Okay, let me try this again. Yo. Still not feeling good, man. But welcome in another edition of ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. We got a 15 game slate, man. I felt like I couldn't leave the people out to dry. It's a lot of money to be made. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I came down with this on Friday or Saturday, and I still not 100%, but it don't take too much energy to try to get to some cash, man. So that's always the plan. Let me see if I can turn this volume down on this one. A couple things I want to mention real quick as far as hold on. So a couple things I wanted to mention real quick as far as before we actually get started. It's a 15 game slate, so I'm not going to break all these games down in extreme detail. I'll just give you guys my looks, things that I've already locked in, and just open it up to the community, man, to be able to share homework and research that's been done as well. It's a lot of moving parts whenever it's 15 games, and every team's playing, of course, because tomorrow's election day. So the NBA wanted to make sure that they did their due diligence by making sure they didn't put games on to encourage people to vote tomorrow. So that's why we got a 15 game slate today with no games tomorrow. And that could be overwhelming. There's a lot of things going on as far as injury report wise going on as well. So pick and choose your spots. When I'm looking at a card this big, I typically don't, hone in on each one of these games. It's too time consuming. And, it could just find your spots and pick them, man. I did so last night. If you watched the video that I shared, looked at these games last night, felt the ones that I was, really interested in and bet them early to get some of that CLV. So yeah, I wanted to first start by saying I did create. You guys can see the co-host page. I created the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show page. So follow the page, man. Especially if you guys got plays that you want to share, and you can't either request up or you can't make it to the YouTube page because the YouTube. I mean, it's a lot of people over here on YouTube already. I see you, Scotty. Appreciate you, Tyler, KC, my guys over here, Markel over here. So I appreciate you guys. JT, I see you, my brother. Tiffany in the building. What up, Tiffany? Shout out to NYC. So I created that page. If you guys want to share plays, what the goal of the page is to get plays and post them with write-ups. So if you guys got something that you're extremely confident in, first of all, follow the page. Second thing is just screenshot your post up, your write-up or whatever the case might be, and tweet it at the page at CBC show. Just at the page, and I'll retweet that so everybody that's following can see that. I thought that was a good idea. So we'll see how that goes. But I thought that was a good idea. So follow the CBC co-host page in here. Nothing else I wanted to share because I don't got that much voice anyway. I'm going straight into what I locked in already, just to share some angles with you guys, and then, as always, if you guys got plays that you're liking or loving, I'm gonna definitely, make sure I leave some time for that as well. So let's get into it. Let's go through it. 15 games, like I said, I'm not going through all of them, but I'm good to the good ones, man. The ones I got plays in. So first one up, the Kings and the Magic. Actually, I got to play in this one. So Kings come into this game. They're 5-2 ATS. Hold on. Damn, it's not Kings and Magic. I'm tripping. I don't even got my notes pulled up for the right day. Hold on here. I got to play in the Magic game, though, so I ain't that sick to where I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on. All right, cool. Wrong day. My fault. Forgive me for that. All right, so Rockets in the Magic. That's what I meant to say. So this was one I actually looked at last night, too. Didn't lock it in because there was a lot, like I said, going on, the injury report. But I think you can find value in these ugly games and these ugly teams too, right? So for Orlando, this will be their third straight home game. Coming off that buzzer beater by De'Aaron Fox. Shout out to my guy Finesse. I see him in the chat. He gave out Fox over 23.5 points. And it was ended up being an easy cash, even though we had a little sweat with that game going to overtime. So both of these teams have even rest. If you listen in to the show on Saturday, I think I did. We faded the Rockets early in that game against the Timberwolves without having Rudy Gobert. Nice little get-right spot for the T-Wolves after coming off 3 straight losses. And I see that again today. Kevin Porter Jr., has since been listed as questionable in this game with an illness. And that's the only injury news that I saw in this one. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. That's the only thing that Jalen Green listed as probable with a knee injury. I think he's going to play. Jayshawn Tate was already listed as out. Then Jabari Smith had an illness, and he's probable for this game as well. On the opposite side, you got all of the regular guys that have already been out for the Magic are still out in this one. So what I was looking at in this, I was looking at continuing to ride the hot trend of fading the Rockets in the first quarter and in the first half. And I got some trends to kind of back it. So first thing up, the Magic, they're 4-0 ATS at home this season. This will be the first time that they're actually a favorite, though. They've been dogs in all of those spots. So that's a tad bit concerning. But I don't think that is – I don't think – like, to me, it's not that bad. They're winning the first quarter by an average of 2 points, and they're winning the first half by an average of 7 points at home specifically. So when you look, like you take a deeper dive and you look into these games, right, with the Magic being at home so far this season, here are the 4 opponents that they played so far. They had the Celtics first, the Hornets, the Warriors, and the Kings. All 4 of those teams are better than the Rockets, way better than the Rockets, especially the Celtics, especially the Warriors, and the Kings too, especially the Kings being way better than the Rockets, right? This team is long, they're athletic, they play defense, they pride themselves on the defensive end, and we know the Rockets give up a lot of points, especially early in the game. So I won't make it, I won't be too long-winded. I'm gonna just read you guys my stats that I got because I did lock this in already. It's a half unit play on both of me. I'm not laying, putting too much money on the Magic. I just like the spot and fading the Rockets in this one. So Magic 4-0 ATS at home this season. They went, like I said, they win the first quarter by average of 2. You can get the first quarter spread at -1.5, and they're winning the first half by average of 7. You can get the first half spread at -1.5 as well. So I love the value being able to get the Magic just to win and cover the spread be up by 2 points. On the opposite side, this Rockets team, they come in. It's a different time zone for them because they played in Minnesota, so it'll be the first game on the East Coast in a different time zone. And this Rockets team, they're ranked 22nd in offense. I'm sorry, 22nd in first quarter defense on the season. They're allowing 30 points a game. But if you look closer, they actually ranked 25th, giving up 31.5 points per game in the first quarter on the road. They're also 0-7 on the road in the first quarter. So give me the Magic in the first quarter and the first half. Like I said, you can't – let me see what I got. I got Magic -1.5 and -2.5. So first quarter -1.5 spread, first half -2.5. And that's what I'm on officially. I don't trust the Magic in the second half of games at all. That's when they typically fade. But they are 3-1 ATS at home in the first half. They're 7-3 in the first half overall. And they should be motivated after De'Aaron Fox hit that buzzer beater against them, having their third straight game at home. The Magic are also 7-2-1 overall and 3-0 in the first half at home this year. And like I said, they're winning by 7, 59-52 on average. The Rockets, they're 1-6 ATS, 1-7 ATS in the first quarter, first half. In away games, they're losing the first half by an average of 10 points, 61-51. So I think, offense and defense, I think give me the Magic defense over the Rockets offense in this one, and give me the Rockets, the Magic offense in this one over the Rockets defense for sure, specifically in the first half. So I'm official on those 2 plays. Like I said, half unit on both of those. Back in the Magic can be a little scary, but scary money can still still cash. So that's what I'm on in that game. This Wizards and Hornets game, I still don't have anything official on this one, so I won't talk too much about this one. Wizards are coming off the loss yesterday to the Grizzlies, which they covered. Bill's still out. Wizards fought back, so I think I was listening to my guy Jay Money earlier. He said he was on the Wizards first half. I like the spot for the Wizards in the first half, but this Hornets team is so unpredictable. I don't know what to do with them. Wizards too, so I'm off that game. Thunder and the Pistons. Nothing official for me on this one. I don't like to take the Thunder, as favorites, because this line opened at the Pistons, I think, were favored by 2, and then flipped to the Thunder actually being a favorite. It's not something I'm interested in at all. So I'm not playing that at all. Jalen Durham is available in this game. I think that's worth mentioning because the Pistons could use them. Their defense looks terrible. Their last game was against was against Cleveland on Friday, and they got smacked up without Darius Garland and without Donovan Mitchell. So defenses look really, really bad. They should be getting back Marvin Bagley III. I think he's going to help a lot on the defensive end. I talked about the trends with him in the game versus being out the game. So nothing official for me on that one, but but I do think that I'm not backing the Thunder laying points with them. Can't do that. All right, so moving on, Pacers and Pelicans and Pacers. The Pelicans are actually on the road for this one. Third game in 4 nights. I think fourth game in 6 nights for the Pelicans. Not really a spot that you want to back them in, but I mean, it is the Pacers. The Pacers have looked, excuse me, they have looked good. I think spreading this one opened at 6 in favor of the Pelicans. It's down to 5. I see it actually down to 4.5 in some places as well. And I think that might be because Zion is, I think, listed as a game time decision in this one. So my look in this one, I know that the Pacers have been playing a little bit better than what we expected, but I would actually look towards the Pelicans early in this one. What I got written down, and I haven't played it yet. This is the last thing I was actually looking up before I started, was the Pelicans first quarter. You can get the spread at a -1.5. So the Pelicans just to win by 2. If you want to fade the Pacers, you want to do it early, right? So the Pelicans, they're 5-1 ATS in the first quarter in away games, and they're coming off that loss against Atlanta, of course. It was the first game they got, everybody back together. Second game, but that second game was the second night of a back-to-back when they lost in Atlanta, right? So I think if you take the Pelicans, you want to do it early in this spot. I like the Pelicans first quarter, first half. I haven't locked in the first quarter, but that's on my strong lean side. Pelicans are, like I said, 5-1 ATS in the first quarter, and in away games, and they're coming off the loss, so I think it's a motivational spot. Then on the opposite side, you get a Pacers team that 1-3 ATS in the first quarter at home, and I think they haven't played a game in about 4 or 5 days, so they could be a tad bit rusty. If they rusty or not, I don't think that they stop this Pelicans offense, especially off the loss. And that was actually one of the things that I wanted to look at earlier, which I totally forgot. So let me look at that real quick. So the Pelicans, and when they're coming off a loss this season, they are actually, they're 3-0 straight up, 2-1 ATS. They beat the Warriors. They beat the Warriors, but didn't cover the spread of 11 because that spread ended up getting really big. Then they beat the Clippers, and they beat the Mavericks. So, but that first quarter, they only winning by 0.3 points. So it's still a spot for me that I really like. But the Pacers are coming off 2 days rest, and the Pelicans are coming off 1. I really just like the Pelicans in this one. I just don't think the Pacers can stop them, even with having Miles Turner back. I like the Pelicans first quarter. Like I said, I didn't play that one, but that'll be my look in this game. Free minds, yeah, bro. I said Magic early. Yeah, if you look at the trends, that's how you want to back them. You want to back these boys early. The Magic typically fade towards the end. If you watch that game on Friday, was that Friday or Saturday? I think it was Saturday. If you watch that game Saturday, the Magic were winning by 18, 20 points at halftime. Was smoking Sacramento, and Sacramento came all the way back in that game. So, I'll be looking at the Magic early in this one. JT says 64 in the chat. Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button for me. I see 75, 70. Hit the like button for me if you're watching on YouTube. Let's keep going, though. Keep going. Power through. So next game up, Suns and the Sixers. Nothing for me in this one. Didn't really cap that one too much. Bucks and I know Embiid did go through. He had participated in shoot around. Remains questionable. Bucks and the Hawks. Shout out to my guy Joy. Said he was taking his Bucks early in this one. I think the Bucks something like 6-1, 7-1, 8-1 in the first half. They come out and they stifle teams, whether they're at home or on the road. Short number for the Bucks to lay in this spot. I think it did go up to 4, even though earlier when I capped the game, I think it was at 3. So let me see where I see it at now. It's at 4. It's at 4 everywhere. It opened at 2.5. Total was at 226. So Yeah, total hasn't really. I mean, it's still 226 and a half. I'm not playing this game either. Like I said, I really wanted to kind of pick and choose my spots. Blazers and the Heat, and plus that gives you guys more time to kind of chime in. Blazers and the Heat opened at 6.5. This was a game that you really kind of got to have your head on a swivel and be making sure you're checking your notifications. So this one is down to 5 now. We know that Dame got ruled in. He's going to play. Anthony Simons is listed as questionable in this game as well. And I know it's the first game back, but I like the Blazers in this spot, man. I think that they can keep this game close, if not win it outright. But also another game that I didn't play. Total had opened at 220 and a half. It went all the way down to 215 as well. And now you see it back up to 216 and a half with the news that Dame's going to play in this one. So I don't know. I don't know. It is, I think, for the Blazers, it's their first game on the East Coast as well. And the Heat been at the crib. So not a spot I'm looking to really back the Blazers, but I do think that the Heat are a tad bit overvalued in this spot. And I wouldn't trust them to beat anybody by 7 points right now. This Blazer team looks pretty good with Jeremy Grant and Josh Hart and my boy Shaden Sharp. And, yeah, they got some guys, man. I like this Blazer team a lot. But nothing official I'm on in that game. Raptors and the Bulls. I watched this game yesterday. This will be a rematch of the game that happened yesterday. Yesterday, these two teams played in Toronto. Today, they'll play in Chicago. Line opened up at 3.5 in favor of Chicago, and it's come down to 2. It's come all the way down to 2. Derrick Jones Jr. is listed as probable. Drummond's out. Kobe White is still out as well. Zach LaVine was listed as questionable, and Kim Birch was listed as out. I think if you watched that game yesterday, it was a hard-fought game. Chicago has actually looked better than I thought that they would look. They're playing really hard defensively and offensively. Guys like what's my boy name that played in LA? Why can't I think of his name? Caruso. Caruso's been balling, man. I think, looking at somebody like him, especially if Zach LaVine doesn't play, I don't know, man. It was a bad spot. You typically want to take the team that lost in this spot the game before, but it was a bad spot for me to take the Bulls in this spot. Just when you look at their travel, I talked about it the other day. I know that they've been playing well, but I'd probably be looking towards an under in this game, if anything. I know yesterday I think the game went over. If not, it was close to going over. Total at 221. And it stayed at 221. I do see it down to 220 and a half at some spots. I think it goes under. This will be I think it's a 6 game in 10 days for Chicago. And I just don't like the way that they've had to alternate between home road, home road, home road. Both of these teams have the same amount of rest, of course, because they played yesterday. So I'd actually be looking towards Toronto in this one because I think that they're the more rested team in totality. The reason why I didn't get there, though, is because we know Siakam is hurt and won't be available for the next few weeks. And I don't necessarily want to back him in this spot. Also, Fred VanVleet had to go crazy yesterday to get these guys a win. He looked exhausted after the game when I watched his post-game interview. So I don't know how much that affects him, but not a game I was interested in playing because I didn't do a lot of research just based on how it went yesterday. Moving along to a game that I am interested in, the Celtics and the Grizzlies. So let's see. So it opened at 2 in favor of Boston. Money quickly came in on Boston. I think it went all the way up to 4, and now it's back down to 3.5. Total opened at 230 and a half, and it's gone up to 231 and a half, which I would agree with the over in this spot because we know the Celtics without Robert Williams play no defense. Well, not as much defense. And the Grizzlies without Jared Jackson Jr. also don't play a lot of defense either. And this, I actually got a play that I'm going to post in the chalkboard. Hit me up if you guys want the chalkboard link as well. I think I retweeted it earlier. Chalkboard tweeted something. Congratulations to you all. You guys have got Ronald, Cobain, Finesse, and myself to 1,000 followers. Not followers, 1,000 members. So we appreciate you guys for tapping in with us on chalkboard. And I am going to drop this play in there today. What I'm looking at in this one. So I'm staying in the first half in this one. And I'm taking the Celtics minus the 1.5, minus the 2, wherever you can get it at. I initially was looking at the team total over. If you guys have been following the trends, the Celtics have been cashing in the first half. They've been scoring a lot of points. So I had a whole write-up, 3 paragraphs on why I wanted to take the Celtics team total for the first half over 59.5. But I think I'm going to just play the -2 instead, just in case they don't get the 60 points, which I think that they get the 60, but I like them to be winning by 2 regardless of what the score is. So I'm going to play the spread. I lock this one in. It's a unit and a half play for me. Celtics first half minus the 1.5. You can still get it. You can get a 1.5 or you can get a 2 depending on where you shop. I think DraftKings had it at a 2. FanDuel had it at a 1.5. So check your books. If you're interested in making this play, definitely get the better of the lines that you can. So what I got for you guys. So we know that the Celtics are coming in this game off a win against the Knicks. Shout out to my guy Finesse. I know he was on the Celtics. He was on his Celtics in that game as well. Minus, I think they were laying 3.5 or 4.5 against the Knicks team that nobody could trust in the world. All right, so they're coming off a win, but you get a Grizzlies team that actually had to fight hard yesterday to get a win. They they blew the Wizards out at home yesterday, but then they looked real lethargic in that third quarter towards the end too. Like they gave up the lead to the not gave up the lead, but they let the Wizards come back. They let the Wizards bench bring them back in the second half, in the third quarter specifically. So I like the Celtics minus the 2 in the first half in this spot. That's the spot I feel most confident in. Couldn't talk anybody off the full game minus the 3.5, and a couple trends to back this up. So the Celtics are so since the start of last season, the Grizzlies are giving up 61 first half points and losing by an average of 9 points in games where they don't have Jared Jackson Jr. and they don't have the rest advantage. So this rest advantage and don't have Jared Jackson Jr. They're losing the first half by average of 9 points in this spot. This season, Memphis is when Memphis is at a rest disadvantage. It's a small sample size, of course. It's only 2 or 3 games, but when you get the Grizzlies at a rest disadvantage, they're losing the first half by average of 5 points. We only need the Celtics to cover by 2. Also, talking about that's the Grizzlies defense that hasn't been that good. The Celtics have the best offensive rating in the first half this season. They're through the first 9 games. They're winning the first half by average of 67 to 56. That's a 9-point margin in the first half. And it's the best. Like I said, it's where they had the best advantage. So give me Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Grant Williams and Malcolm Brogdon and my guy with the hair. I can't think of his name right now for some reason. Give me those guys in the first half against this Grizzlies team on the second night of a back-to-back, being at the rest disadvantage. And I don't think they'll have a lot of defense. Also, if you like this one, go ahead and lock it in now because Steven Adams is listed as questionable. And if he doesn't play, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. And I do expect the line to move if Steven Adams doesn't play. So give me the Celtics minus the 1.5, minus the 2 in the first half in this one. And then moving along, Nuggets and Spurs, nothing for me in this one. These teams have just played each other. I don't think that you could go wrong playing the Nuggets. Team totals over. The Spurs not going to play a lot of defense. I talked about Devin Vassell the other day. Didn't take him because the news came out that he was going to be on a minutes restriction. He still scored 20, so I was pissed at myself about that. But was trying to, just be cautious on that one. This Nuggets team has looked a tad bit better recently. Jamal Murray's looking really, really good. So I don't know. The spread opened at 6-2. So if you wanted to get on the Nuggets, you probably wanted to get on them early. Now it's all the way up to 8. It was actually back down. Yeah, it's 8, 7.5. So yeah, Nuggets and Mavs. Nothing for me official in this one either. We did get the news that Ben Simmons is going to return. He should be on the 20-minute minutes limit. Some restrictions with him. Brooklyn's looked good recently. They still can't cover spreads, but they've looked good, and they've actually been favored in their last 2 games as well. They weren't favorites against the Wizards and blew the Wizards out. Then they were favorites against the Charlotte Hornets, and they didn't cover that spread. So they still aren't covering spreads, but you get them as a dog in this spot. They opened this at minus 6.5. The lines come down to -6 now. Not looking to fade Luka at the crib, though. That's one thing I'm not looking to do, especially with Luka being at the crib so long. I don't know how many games this is at home for Dallas, but it's been quite a few. So I'm not looking to get off for Dallas in this spot, especially like I said, at the crib. So let's see something real quick. So I want to see how many games the Mavericks have played at home already. God damn. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the fifth straight home game for for the Mavericks. Not a spot I'm looking to fade them at all. Shooting on the same rims over and over again. You don't want to fade them in a spot like this. They did beat the Nets already. So it should be, it could be a revenge angle for the Nets, but I like this Mavs team way more than I like the Nets team. Spencer Dinwiddie's probably still gonna try to get up for a game like this. I can see that. And then they're the more rested team too. So rested team at the crib, I couldn't take I'm not taking the Nets. I do think that 7 is a tad bit too big, but it wouldn't surprise me if they covered that. And then Knicks and T-Wolves, nothing for me on that game either. I do love the T-Wolves without Rudy Gobert. I should have made that a trifecta spot the other day, and I didn't. I only took the first quarter. The first half was -4 when they played against the Rockets. They just have so much more floor spacing. You see Anthony Edwards get dunks. They get to shoot the ball. They can run pick and roll without, it being a lot of droppage and coverage to, kind of clog up the paint. So I don't know. This Knicks team is up and down too. So nothing official for me in that one. I didn't really cap that one too much either. Kings and Warriors. Kings and Warriors. Total spread opened at 7.5 in favor of the Kings in this one. In favor of the Warriors. It went up to 8. The total is 230. It went up to 233. Man. So the Warriors have not looked great. I know we all know that. They're finishing up that brutal 5-game road trip out east. First game back at the crib. I'm not looking to back them. They did beat Sacramento at home because Golden State actually played in New Orleans. Sacramento played their last game in Orlando. So both of these teams are traveling from East Coast back to the West Coast where they typically play. I actually look towards the under in this spot, man. I think in that game against the Pelicans, we saw something with the second unit. It was an unmotivated spot for New Orleans, of course. Sacramento coming off a win. I actually look towards the under in this game, especially now that the totals went up. And I wouldn't look towards the full game under. I look towards the first half under. I got it written down at under 121 for Golden State and Sacramento in the first half. I like that spot. I like the under in the first half. So I think off 4 previous losses, the Golden State Warriors are 7-2 or 5-2 to the under. I can't remember exactly what the stat was, but I saw a stat earlier. I like that. I like that game to go under in the first half specifically. No telling what could happen in the second half. Both of these teams like to get out and play extremely fast. I'm pretty sure Golden State's going to try to come back home and turn it up tonight. This Kings team is a buy-on team, though, so I'm not really looking to fade them. Maybe if I play this one, like I said, it'll just probably be a total. So that's what I'm looking at there. 2 more games. So Lakers and Jazz. Nothing for me official in this one. I do think that you have to look at Westbrook props without LeBron playing tonight. AD is supposed to be playing. Lonnie Walker already got ruled out, and Jared Vanderbilt is questionable. I almost played the Lakers minus the Jazz minus the 3 last night, but I'm glad I waited. So the spread now it's all the way up to 5. Well, it went up to 5. Now it's actually all the way up to 7, 6.5. And I do think this could be an unmotivated spot for Utah in this spot. Utah just went out to LA and got a sweep of the Lakers and the Clippers in back-to-back nights. And I didn't give it out as an official, but I did look at Utah last night. I took them plus the 3.5 against the Clippers, just thinking the wrong team was favored in that spot, and they were. This Utah team plays hard, but you get them at the Lakers have slight rest advantage. Without LeBron, it's kind of difficult to figure this one out. I didn't cap this game too much. I think it could be a Lakers spot, but I'm not gonna give that out, or I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna stay on the sideline in this one. AD should eat. And the Clippers, the Utah Jazz exerted a lot of energy last night, beating the Clippers. So I actually thought, if you watched the game yesterday, I watched all these games. If you watched the Lakers play yesterday, Darvin Ham actually called the troops off early. He took LeBron and AD out with like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game against the Cavs. So I thought it was because he was playing on the back-to-back and they was going to try to win the game. I mean, I guess they still might try to win the game, but if you can't beat Utah without LeBron, you're definitely not going to be able to beat them with LeBron. And this Utah team is a buy-on team. I'm not taking them to cover by 7 though, but I would look at Utah in this spot. These guys are really, really good, and I'm gonna make some money off Utah like I did last night. because I lost some money on them with the Pelicans early in the season. So made a little bit of my money back last night, but we got a long way to go. And then this last game up, the Cavaliers and the Clippers, I couldn't make a video last night. I should have just tweeted it out. But I capped this game last night, and I was so interested when the line opened at -0.5, or you could have got it at 1. This Cavs team is so good, and the Clippers are not at all. And I think what we're seeing is I was puzzled at first before I actually played it, because I did play this one last night before I went to sleep. I took the Cavs -1. I made a video about it earlier and posted on my timeline. This Cavs team, I think, is 8-1 straight up in ATS. And if you watch this Clipper team play, they're out of sync, they're out of rhythm. They still don't have Kawhi. They rely so much on Paul George that it's actually hard to watch. Like, Reggie Jackson looked like a shell of himself. John Wall can't shoot, and he's already listed as out. Reggie Jackson banged his knee. He might not play in this game. So you rely, and then I saw Luke Kennard is also listed as questionable. So you relying on guys like Norman Powell, who's a good player. Don't get me wrong, but you're relying on guys like Norman Powell and Terrence Mann. Give me the Cavs. they're a better defensive team. They're much better offensively, and I still think that there's value, even though the line's up to 4.5. I still think that there's value in taking the Clippers, man. In taking the Cavs. I really, really do. Even I thought the line should have opened at like 4.5. And what I wanted to share was, I mentioned this already, but the Cavs are 8-1 straight up, 8-1 ATS, and those 8 games all came in a row. They lost their first game when Darius Garland got poked in his eye up in Toronto, but this team, not only have they covered every spread, they've won every game by double digits. Every game by double digits except for the one against the Celtics. The Celtics team is better than the Clipper team to me. Let's see. Yeah, so they smacked the Bulls up by 36, beat the Wizards by 10, beat the Magic by 11, beat the Celtics by 9, and I think that one went to overtime. Beat the Knicks by 13, beat the Celtics by 1. And then you beat the Pistons. They smacked the Pistons up by 24 and beat the Lakers by 14. I just don't see them being in a close game when it comes down to it in this spot. As long as ChrisBeCappinn can keep these guys motivated, I don't know when they're gonna lose, to be honest. They got the Kings on deck for on Wednesday. And then they got Golden State, which they probably do their thing with Golden State too before they come back home and play the Timberwolves. So I don't know when this team gonna lose. They look sharp though. After they turned it on in the second half, they kind of played with their food in the first half against the Lakers. Matinee spot, traveling from East Coast to West Coast. Last game was in Detroit on Friday. So it took them a while to get into a rhythm. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both picked up 3 fouls in the first half, and you just see Donovan Mitchell turn it on. Like that spot. I played that one at -1, and then I gave it out again at -4. So I'm on both of those. I think they win this game. It's not a 2-possession game. Is more like a 3 or 4 possession game. And PG played a lot of minutes last night, all for them just to lose. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually rested in this spot, honestly. But yeah, everything except the coaching advantage goes to the Cavs in this spot. And ChrisBeCappinn is a great coach too. He's a great motivator of men. So I think he'll have his guys fired up to kind of keep it going today. Cavs are winning their games by average of 13 points too. So that's all I got, man. If y'all got something, y'all let me know. Damn, it's a lot of stuff in the chat. I can't even go back, man. I appreciate y'all for leaving all this. I can't go back and read all this. I want to get to some of the guys that do have requests though. And I mentioned this already, but I'm gonna mention it again. The page that you guys see as the co-host, the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, is a page where you guys can tweet your plays to. If you got a write-up or you want to copy and paste from your notes section or whatever the case might be, send your play to that page and just tag the page. I'll retweet the page, retweet your post or your tweet, and then that way everybody that's following that page can see it, right? So it's a good way for everybody to kind of, you heard the play, but you can't remember what it was. If people just tweet the page, then they can come up and share, and you can just go back and listen to it. So with no further ado, I'm gonna get into I'm gonna get into some of the requests. First and foremost, my guy Finesse is in the building. What up, Finesse?
What's good, bro? How you doing? I know you under the weather and shit.
Yeah, I'm all right, bro. I'm good, man. Trying to cash.
I feel that. Yeah, I'm a little sick too, so I'm probably like 70% brain power, but that's enough. You know what I'm saying? We got some things we looking at. Huge card. I'm keeping it a little light, but let me see. Let me go to it. See what I got for you. So first, I'm on Keegan Murray. His PRA is at 16.5. Getting a huge discount there. Last couple games have been, duds for him. They've been good games for Sacramento, just duds for him. He hasn't really been involved as much as he was to start the year. That's why we're getting such a massive discount. Everybody's low on him. I'll take him in a buy low spot. Team he's going against gives up a lot of threes to the position, and we know he loves to shoot threes, so he's going to be involved in a rebound aspect too. I expect him to get 12, 13 points alone. So a 16.5 point line, PRA line is, I feel like, a little too disrespectful. So I'm on Keegan Murray tonight. The Twitter play that me and my boy MJC gave out, little PPD, play 15 plus and go to state money line. Let me get to the write-up for that real quick. I apologize. All right, so yeah, he has 15 plus points and 18 his last regular season wins, which we're expecting Golden State to win, and 15 in his last 17 versus the Kings. He has 19 plus field goal attempts in 3 of his last 4. His value's been increasing. The minutes have slowly been increasing, so we love that. Definitely going to see 20 plus. He's hit a 7-8 this year, seeing 20 plus minutes, and 19 his last 23 regular season games with 20 plus. 14 of his last 15 home wins, which again we expect him to win. And Sacramento is giving it up to this position, most points and third highest field goal percentage to shooting guard. So I think it's a great spot for Clay and for the Warriors. So love that PPD. That's minus 118 on FanDuel. I'm with you on the Celtics. I'm taking them full game. I don't think I'm gonna give it out, but I already have a ticket on them. I love them full game. I think it's just a math game. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get threes. And I don't think they're going to get too many threes. We have guys that can defend. Their best players, the guys that they look for to score the ball. So I think it's a great matchup for us. This will be the second straight day, like you said, that I'm on my Celtics. I just think it's a great spot. And I think you're on this as well. I'm on Cleveland. Yeah, you were talking about this. I'm on Cleveland with you. Just a complete mismatch. So I'll take them laying the points. And, yeah, that's it for me. So Keegan Murray, PRA, play 15 plus, and the Golden State win. Not giving it out, but personally, I'm on Cleveland and Boston.
Let's go, Finesse. Hey, Finesse, real quick. You smart guy. Finesse, why is the market still undervaluing the Cavs? Why would that line open at minus a half a point last night? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I can't. I'm confusing these kind of things. Like, listen, if there's a trap, I'm okay putting my money on it and losing it. Like you said, they're just a better team on offense, on defense. The Clippers aren't limiting guards, which is obviously the worst possible thing in this matchup. The length is gonna be an issue. I like K Love too. There's no props on K Love right now for some reason, but I think K Love eats. I think guys like Mobley eat, and they just can't defend guards. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm happy to lay the points with the better team, period, all around. But yeah, D Mitchell is balling the fuck out. He looks like a perfect fit there. And the team kind of already has that symmetry from last year. So love Cleveland tonight. Love them moving forward. I think they're going to be a really, really scary team moving forward.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're on the same page on this because I will echo everything you just said as well. It was just weird to me. I'm like, bro, do I put my money right here? Like this seems a little fishy, but all right. But I appreciate that, Finesse. Best of luck, my brother. Mr. Boombaye is in the building. What's up, Boombaye? Talk to the people, bro. How you doing?
What's going on? How you feel, man? First off, I wanted to, thank you for, I appreciate you, still giving us, your time and energy and effort, which you a little bit under the weather. So I wanted to salute you for that. So, man of the people for sure, man.
My guy, appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. You got me looking at these first quarter joints, man. Shout out to the Nets for cashing that first quarter against the Hornets the other night that I called out in the YouTube, man. That was a good look. I ate that on a nice little leg. And I'm actually on that with you with the Magic, but I'm gonna take the alt spread because I just like the plus money, and I also do think this is also a Beccaro and I forget the guy's name, the second pick that this is Jabari Smith guy. This is a matchup for them two to watch. And you know the Rockets stink, man. They can score, they can't catch a cold. They probably couldn't guard you right now. So I'm taking the Magic minus 2.5 on the off spread plus money. Give me that every time. I think they can be up by 3 at the end of the first quarter. I also think this is a Brandon Ingram spot. I think everybody kind of jumped on him too early that first game off the concussion going against DeAndre Hunter. I don't think that was a good spot for him. Hunter is, you know, probably a top 10 defender at his position in this league. But I'm not just going to take the points. I'm going to take the points and the rebounds over 28.5, minus 115. I like him to give up. I like him to get probably 30 tonight. But for me to play it safe, I'm going to take it with the rebounds because he averages 4 rebounds. So if he gets 28 points and 2 rebounds, that's cash. But I also have a PPD that I'm looking at in the Warriors-Kings game. I think this is a blowout potential game tonight. I won't be shocked if the Warriors win this game tonight by 30. They've been losing some games, just not like them. I don't think Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and even Poole, I think this is a get-right spot for them. But I want to target Andrew Wiggins. They give up the small forward rebounds. I think they're 4th in the league, if I'm not mistaken. They give up the fourth most rebounds to the small forward position. Wiggins is a dog. We seen what he did in the finals last year against the Celtics. He had a couple of games with 15-plus rebounds. I'm taking Andrew Wiggins, 8 rebounds, Golden State to win. And there was another first quarter play I was looking at. What game was that? I also do like what you said about the Raptors, too. I think, obviously, being from Chicago, I want to pick the Bulls. I think Levine and DeRozan cover their points, but I like the Raptors. Oh, the other first quarter point spread was the Nuggets and the Spurs that I was looking at. I think this is a great game, considering what's going on with LeBron not playing. I'm piggyback into that. I do like Jokic and Russell for the triple doubles. I'm not going to play it. If you are going to play it, again, build it out yourself because you'll get better odds. But the first quarter spread, minus 2.5, minus 114. I like it, but again, I like plus money. So I'm going to take the Nuggets. I'm going to take the Nuggets minus 3.5 in the first quarter on the all spread, plus 112. Same as the Magic. I think neither one of these teams are going to play defense, and it's pretty much all I got. So.
Okay, I like the looks, man. Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that because as we get more information, I told you guys earlier, but I'm gonna start doing 2 things. I'm gonna start, sending out some live bets, everything that I tweet out for live bet is typically a half unit. So if you're listening and you're trying to figure out how much I'm putting on it, I typically play half units on all my live bets, and then the other one is the first quarter and the first halves, right? Like if we we start to figure out these teams and we got trends to back them from last year, I'm just feed on those. So we already see that the Rockets are a bad first half team, and I don't think it gets better against a Magic team that plays defense. So looking to attack these teams, however we can. I think Boston being a better offensive team in the first half with the more rest advantage is one of the reasons why I'm on them. They have the best offensive rating, and then like you said, the Rockets, you want to fade them. So. Same thing with the Nuggets. The Nuggets have been, I think, the best first quarter team. It's just a sleepy spot for me with them, but couldn't talk anybody off the Nuggets. I actually look at the Nuggets team total before I looked at the spread, just in case the Spurs actually come out and come out with something. The Nuggets might score 40 points in the first quarter, honestly, against the Spurs, but they might give up 37, right? So we know the Nuggets don't play too much defense. I'll probably be looking at a team total. Just to stay away from them actually not playing defense because they did blow the Spurs out unmotivated spot in back-to-back game with 1 day of rest. So that's my thoughts on that. But Scott, I want to kick it to you real quick, and then Chubbs and HB, I'm gonna get you guys up, and we're gonna keep it moving. What's up, Scott? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, man? I hope you feel better. I'm literally just getting over being sick. It sucks. The basketball season is also cold season, but
right,
that's good medicine, so we're gonna make that happen.
Absolutely, I'll be all right, man. I appreciate the good positive energy though, and the good vibes, Scott. I appreciate that, bro.
You know it, man. I like the person that said that this is your flu game. So let's hope we all put up, insane numbers.
Right.
That would be beautiful.
Hell yeah, that's the goal.
This is going to be an official for me if Zion plays. This is in the Pacers-Pelicans game. I'm really interested in the Pelicans if Zion is playing. And you know me, I'm always trying to look to get something plus money. Here's the thing. When the Pacers are at home, they have only lost by 7, 3, and 2. And they did get a win against Detroit. They are playing better at home. They're playing closer games. So if that spread of 5 is a little scary, I want to do the Pelicans money line and throw on Tyrese Halliburton at 7.5 assists. Right now, he's got the most potential assists per game. The Pelicans are giving up assists at a clip, the 8th most, and they're giving up the 6th most point guard position. We don't really have like a huge sample size on what it's like when Chris Duarte isn't in the game, but this is where the research got me really excited. He had 9. Halliburton had 9 in that game when Duarte went out. And in the monster game, when Duarte went for 30, Halliburton only had 5. That's because basically Halliburton's getting his assists, setting up Buddy Hield, right? Sniper plays. He's not feeding it to Duarte inside anymore. Pacers are giving up the 10th most threes. We just need him to get to 8, and he's only missed that on 2 games all season. You can get Halliburton 8 assists and Pelicans money line if Zion plays for plus 115 on DraftKings. That is going to be a 1 unit, maybe even a 1.5 for me if Zion's in. I love the way the numbers are adding up there.
Like it, Scott. Hey, Scott, do me a favor. If you got a write up for that, tweet it to the ChrisBeCappinn show page. I would love to get that out to the people. I like that play a lot.
I will absolutely write that up cleanly. I'll get that to you.
My God, appreciate that, Scott.
Appreciate you, man. Let's cash out.
Absolutely, bro. That's always the goal. Chubbs, I want to kick it to you real quick. What's up, Chubbs? How you doing, bro? Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you, bro, man. I want to echo what everyone's been saying. I hope you feel better, bro. I just got over being sick about 2 weeks ago. That shit is dead. Yeah. But the 2 points, but the 3 plays that I have today that I'm on 3 different games. The first game I'm on is the Philadelphia 76ers game. I feel like everybody's on Devin Booker and Embiid, but I think the one role player that's gonna play a big part in this, and like there's not a lot of value on FanDuel anymore, but I did see if I found value here. I think PJ Tucker gets over 1.5 threes. 2 threes, 2 corner threes that I think the 76ers are definitely gonna need. No James Harden. Just Tyrese Maxey and Embiid gonna be the focal points of the offense, but just guy when he's on the perimeter. That's one play in that game. I also have Paolo over 23.5 points. Man is balling right now. I'm riding the hot hand. I'm taking him against the Rockets. Like that team, as someone said earlier, they can't guard nobody. And then my last play is gonna be Russell Westbrook. That boy. He's been hooping. After all the mess they've been talking about this man, I'm happy to see him doing great. Over 21.5 points for me.
Over 21.5 for Westbrook?
Yes, sir.
Hey, best of luck, Chubbs. I hope you cash him, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, and last, I want to say this real quick too before I keep it moving. I'm gonna try to put together. Let's see if we can collaboratively do this towards the end, right? Because it's 6:07 now. Towards the end, when I get through with all the speakers, I'm trying to get a little stars will be stars parlay real quick, but before we get out of here, something small like a quarter unit play on the stars will be stars parlay. Since we got a full slate, I'm gonna try to pick, one thing from each game that I think needs to happen, and we can parlay the odds and put a little something small on it, see what we can come up with, man. I think that'd be cool. I know people been DMing me and asking me for that too, but I never like to force stuff. So, based on what we think gonna happen, let's see, see if we can get some things that kind of correlate together. Appreciate you, Chubbs. HB, I want to kick it to you, and then Bookie Bully, and then I'm gonna get to my guy Vaughn. What's up, HB? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? And first off, like everybody's doing, get well soon. I hear you. Just drink some tea or OJ, rub your body down with Vicks. Get well soon, man.
Appreciate that, AB, for sure, bro. I've been chugging tea, bro, drinking tea like crazy, tea and water, trying to stay hydrated. But I'll be all right. It's like it ain't nothing crazy. I don't think it's nothing, too big.
No, I'm a nurse, so just drink water, stay in your fluid, stay in bed. I appreciate you doing this. Like this is crazy. I wouldn't, but hey, gotta make money somehow, right?
My God, let's go, HB. What you got for me, bro? How we making money today?
Like me, I love plus money. For the past week, I've always on this Drew Holiday 3 threes in the win, been cashing. But I mean, they're still undefeated, but he didn't hit the other night. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like 4 out of 5 ain't bad. But I noticed about Brook Lopez. I'm like, all right, 2 threes in the win. Let's do that. I heard the and that's one bet. And I'm gonna try to keep it quick because I want everyone else to speak. And also, I heard the other guy that said like everyone's on Joel Embiid, and I'm sticking with it. 30 points for the night plus money on FanDuel. Like for the past 6 games against Phoenix, he dropped over 30 points. 37, 34, 38, 35, 42, and 33. Whatever. It is plus money too because his line's at 27.5. I think just stay with the trend. Why not, right? And I love your Cavs play. And what's that other kid name? He just said I love the Halliburton's play. I'm about to play that right now. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got, man.
Okay. Hey, appreciate you, HB. I hope you cash him, bro.
All right,
cool. Vaughn, I'm gonna kick it to you. What's up, Vaughn?
Yo, you hear me good, bro?
Yeah, you good. What's up with you, Vaughn? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good, bro. Glad to hear you doing the show. The reason I say that is because you doing the show tells the people that you're at least good enough to do the show. So appreciate you for that. Couple plays we like today, man. Let's get straight to it, man. So one of my favorite plays for the night is let's go Pacers versus Pelicans. First half team total over 114.5. With or without Zion, still like to play. So the reason that we on this tonight, so we got the Pacers as a bottom third defensive team. We got the Pelicans coming off a loss Saturday against the Hawks. So we like them in a bounce back spot. And then if you look at this number of 114.5, we have the Pacers being at this line or giving up this number, or they would have hit this number if you look at every first half they've played this season. I think they're like 6-2 to this number against any team. And then, with the Pelicans being on the bounce back spot, we like that even more. One of my favorites for the night also, Boston and Memphis, over the full game, 231. So both of these teams are bottom third in field goal percentage against, defensive rating in a full game. We have Boston as a bottom third team giving up the 3-pointer. We have Memphis as a bottom third team giving up the 3-pointer. So just not two good teams defensively. Last four times these teams have played, they're 4-0 to the over. So we love that 231. We are also on Denver and San Antonio. First quarter over 59.5. So the last 3 games, Denver has scored over 110 points in the first quarter alone. So they're averaging about 36 over the last 3 games. One of these games has been against the Spurs. So we really, really love this spot tonight. I wanted to just take Denver's first quarter over, but they had it at 32. Which is a lot. But I do like, if they can get to 35, I do like the Spurs being able to give us about 27, 28. And then the last time these two teams played, I think the total got up to 63 or 64. So we really like those plays. Also, I'm on Jaylen Brown tonight. And so that's all I'm on officially. My submission for the Stars will be Stars parlay, will be SGA over 28.5. The reason we like that, so we got Boston as as the very worst team in the NBA defending the point guard position. We got SGA over the last 5 games. His shot attempts 20, 13, 17, and 26 over the last 4 games. So those are his shot attempts. So we really, really love SGA tonight at 28. And then also Detroit allowing point guards to shoot over 49%. SGA shooting 21 shots a game. And then also SGA 6th in the league in shot attempts per game. So we got a couple of plays we really, really like today. Looking to bounce back in the Discord. Yesterday wasn't so hot for us, so we're looking to get a bounce back spot tonight. Got a couple spots I really, really love.
Let's do it, Vaughn. Best of luck to you, my brother. I like the SGA look too, for sure. Bookie, let me kick it to you, and then we can get started with the Stars. Will be Stars parlay. What's up, Bookie?
What's up, Chris? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good?
All right. I appreciate too, posting that thing on that new account you made. I gained a couple followers from that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what the goal is. I'm glad you mentioned that, Bookie. So Bookie was one of the guys who actually tweeted the page the other day, with a play that he liked. There was Gary Trent Jr. yesterday, under 22.5 points. And even without Siakam, and you might have looked at the play and thought it was crazy, but I think Gary Trent Jr. finished with like 12 points yesterday. So you didn't have to sweat that one, Bookie. So I appreciate you tweeting that to the page. And it's another chance for me to kind of, make sure I emphasize that for people who join late. The co-host page, the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, is a place where you guys, if you have write-ups for your plays and you want to, have them shared, you feel confident in doing stuff like that, then send them, just tweet the page and I'll retweet it so people can see it. And then if you guys cash, I'm trying to keep an eye on who cashing over there and get a retweet and congratulate you guys for that too. So hope you guys do gain followers. I'm trying to, help everybody grow as much as possible, especially if you're just not starting out and you're serious about doing this. So appreciate that, Bookie. But yeah, what you got for the day, my brother?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. So I got a couple looks tonight, but I got one I did a full write-up on. I'm probably just going to read through that and then skim through the other ones. So I got a play today, plus 155. It's another under. DeAndre Hunter, under 1.5 3-pointers made. This might be a little bit of a sweaty one, but I'm going to take the value, plan it for a full unit because I really like it. Hunter on the season is shooting pretty well. 1.7 threes made on 44% shooting. And today, possibly no Trae Young, and that might make you think he's going to be firing off a ton of threes. But Trae Young being on the floor has a huge positive impact on the spacing and just his ability to make shots. Without Trae, he's only averaging 1 3-pointer made with only 3 attempts on 33% shooting. With Trae on the floor, it's up to 1.8 3-pointers made on 4.2 attempts on 42% shooting. And one of the 1.8 threes Hunter averages a game comes from a Trae Young assist. And 87% of Hunter's made threes are assisted. Hunter's a spot-up shooter. He needs playmakers to create shots for him, and that does not really bode well today for him with the matchup because Milwaukee's allowing the second least field goal attempts, third lowest field goal percentage, and fourth lowest score frequency in spot-up situations. Also allowing the 8th least 3-pointers made to small forwards, 5th lowest 3-pointers in the NBA, and the least assists in the NBA. I like that even if Trae plays, but obviously even more if he doesn't play. A couple more plays I liked. Anthony Davis under 3.5 assists. I saw someone tweet out today he's only averaging 2.3 assists on, I think it was 2.8 potential without LeBron. So that's really low, asking for about assist more than his potential assists against a Utah team that is the best team in the league against spot-up shooters. And they're allowing a ton of points in the paint per game. So, that really works well for Anthony Davis today, scoring, not really looking to kick out. Jalen Smith under PRAs. Since Miles Turner's came back, is just trending downwards. Last game, only 11 minutes against Miami, and today, even a worse matchup for him against New Orleans. He's not going to be able to guard Zion, not going to be able to guard Brandon Ingram, not going to be able to guard Jonas Valanciunas or defend that, or really do much on offense against them. So I think he just gets even less minutes potentially. Even if he gets more, I don't think he can get that 20.5 PRA line. Other games I like, the Toronto-Atlanta game. Both of these two teams are also very good against spot-up shooters. So I took Javon Carter under 1.5 3-pointers made because that's about minus 200. He's just not getting the volume at all, and against one of the best spot-up teams in the league, spot-up defenses in the league. I think that's just an unrealistic number. So I parlayed that with Milwaukee plus 3.5. Plus 110, and then the Toronto-Chicago game. These are two teams that are very bad against spot-up shooters. Chicago is the worst in the league by far, allowing about 5 more points per game than any other team. So I took OG Anunoby 1.5 3-pointers made, and Chicago plus 7.5 at minus 110. And then that's about it. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, best of luck, Bookie. Sound like you did your homework on him, bro. So I hope you cash him. Boomba, yeah, I brought you back up. What's up, bro?
I was coming back up to bring in some insight for the Stars Be Stars parlay. I didn't have a particular play right now.
Oh, word. Yeah, let's get to it, Boomba. Yeah, hey, if you guys got considerations for this Stars Will Be Stars parlay, it don't have to be necessarily just mine. All the legs that I come up with, y'all can come up with them too. But typically when I'm doing these, I'm thinking of one player in each game that needs to go over, a specific stat. That's how I started doing this last year, based on the spot that they're in order for their team to win that night. So I'm not taking, anybody score 70 or 50 or anything like that. It's more so like, do I think this player needs to hit this number in order for his team to be successful and win the game tonight? So I freestyled it last year, and a couple of them I freestyled, a couple of them I didn't. So so far what I got the Washington and Charlotte game, I think what I'm looking at, and I see Stisky up here. I'm gonna bring you up. But yeah, like I said, if you guys got considerations, share them. Send me a request and I'll get you guys up. But what I'm looking at in this first game, so the Wizards versus the Hornets. I watched that Wizards game yesterday. Porzingis wasn't a big part of it. Bradley Beal's still out. I think it's a Porzingis game. His point prop right now is sitting at 23 and a half, I think. You can take his 25 and get plus 114. Looking over his matchups recently against Charlotte, first of all, we know Charlotte doesn't play any defense. The last time he played against them, he had 24 points. He was on Dallas. He had 24 and 13. 2 games ago, he did have a 16 against them. And then when he was on the Knicks, he had a 28-point game against them as well as a 25-point game too. So I think Porzingis to score 25 in a bounce back spot could be the first leg. Moving along, what else I got for you guys? I think looking at the next game, the Rockets and the Magic game, we know the Rockets don't really guard anybody. I think Paolo could go for 40 in this game, honestly. So I think, taking him at 25 at plus, his point prop is 23 and a half. But if you want to take him at 25 and get plus money, then we got 2 legs already, and Porzingis and Paolo. Moving along, the Pelicans are hard to figure out because they have a bunch of guys that can score the ball. Any given night, it could be a CJ night, it could be a Brandon Ingram night, it could be a Zion night, and we don't know if Zion's going to play in this game or not. At least I don't know. Maybe you guys got get updated information because I don't think I saw anything on that, and I don't have my notifications up. Anybody got that? Let's see.
No, I don't see.
Let me go check it out real quick.
He's not listed as questionable on Underdog.
He not listed as questionable?
Nah, so he should be playing.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, that's good. So I think I'll stay away from that one altogether because I would like to have Ingram to score 25 in his second game back. And I do think there's going to be a game where they can get up and down the floor for real. And my guy Finesse just popped back up, so I definitely want to get his thoughts. But I like Ingram to score 25. Of course, I would want to wait on that one until I get the news on Zion. But I think Ingram to score 25, being plus 126 is a nice little third leg. So we got Porzingis, we got Paolo, and we got Brandon Ingram 25 as an optional leg right now. All to score 25. Also, if you wanted to get out of that, you could look at Benedict Mathurin. I always think you could look at Benedict Mathurin. His 20 points is plus 110. So, maybe if you want to go on the safer route, you take Benedict Mathurin at the crib to score 20 in a game that should be fast-paced. Total sitting at 231. Books are telling you they're expecting a lot of points in this one. First 3 legs so far. What y'all got on that? Any comments?
Okay. This what I was looking at. I like all of those, but I think Zion in. So Ingram in a bounce back spot, that should be. I think he's gonna be motivated to score that. And then the game trends over. I'm already on the over, so I kind of like the points. And as far as another pick, I see Jamal Murray. I think he's getting back into the groove, and I like what I was saying when I watched the game. He was getting a lot of mismatches with Trey Jones on him, so I don't see how he don't cover 17.5. I would even take it at 20.
Okay, so add Jamal Murray plus the 17 and a half or up to 20. Okay, I can see that. I can see that, bro. Appreciate you sharing that. Let me. All right, so Finesse. I'm just going order as I see him. Finesse, what up? What you want to add, bro? Anything you can think of?
I like Donovan Mitchell tonight. I like JB tonight. Whether you want to take him 20, 25 plus, whatever odds you're trying to get. Who else? I kind of like Jordan Clarkson tonight, whether you want to take a 15 plus or 20 plus. That's it.
So Finesse, why you here? So Tatum and Brown been kind of going back and forth, right? Like Tatum had the big night 2 games ago against the Knicks, and JB, kind of didn't play as well. And I think JB bounced back in the last game. Do you think it's more of a JB game versus a Tatum game tonight?
I do, yeah. I think Tatum's gonna settle a lot, like he's done versus team in the past. When he gets on Dylan Brooks, he settles a lot. Dylan Brooks is a good defender. I don't think he's a lockdown defender, but for some reason, it just seems like a bad matchup for Tatum. So Memphis doesn't do well in the paint or with the mid-range, and I think that's all JB tonight. So, yeah, I think his original line, 23.5, I really, really like that. It seems like he's trying to get some plus money legs, so if you take him for plus 25 plus, I like JB a lot tonight.
Yeah.
Slightly more than Tatum. I think Tatum gets his, of course, but high total game, I think they both could do it.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot, Finesse. You brought up a good point with Dylan Brooks. I hadn't thought about that because I was actually looking towards Tatum, which is why I asked you. But them your guys, so I know you know. And the matchup definitely favors JB a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, Finesse. These don't have to be, like 25. You guys could take these players that they line at 23.5, 22.5, whatever the case might be. And I mean, do whatever you want to do with them, right? You could put 2 of them together. You could play them straight. You could, parlay all of them, do whatever you want to do. Take them at 25, 23.5, whatever the case might be. But good insight from Finesse. He said he liked Donovan Mitchell and he liked JB and he liked Clarkson tonight.
Yeah, real quick. I will say I do like was Donovan Mitchell slightly more than JB, right? So if you're just looking for one leg, try to throw it on there. I do think Donovan Mitchell go crazy tonight.
Yeah, okay. And I like that. I like those looks a lot. Boomba, yeah, I'm gonna kick it to you, and then Bookie, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, I heard you talking about Porzingis, so I'm like, are we talking about like all-stars or are we talking about superstars?
well, Boomba, yeah, this the point. I just feel like based on what the Wizards have, they don't have they don't have no kind of star on their team without Bill. So
I would think now I wanted to piggyback. I heard somebody talking about Ingram. I wanted to piggyback over him. If you remember, one of my plays was the points and the points and the assists. Oh no, the points and the rebounds. I'm sorry, I got it at over 28.5 minus 115. Now back to the Wizards game. I actually think this is going to be a slot for somebody that we not expecting. I'm waiting on them to drop Corey Kispert lines. There's always the people they drop the lines 5 minutes before. Like I was looking.
Hey Boomba, can I interrupt you for 1 second? I said Porzingis, and you told me I wasn't looking for a superstar, and you gonna mention Corey Kispert?
Now, listen. What I'm saying, I'm just waiting on his threes to drop. I like his threes tonight.
Okay.
I'm not putting him in the stars to be stars, probably. I'm
okay.
Just saying, I noticed with the books, like me and my brother was looking for Goran Dragic yesterday. He had nothing up until 5 minutes before the game.
And killed. Yep, he did.
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis, yep. Another one for Nets facts.
Now back to the stars going to be stars. I like Luka and KD rebounds tonight. Luka for sure because the Nets give up the rebound. I think they give up the most rebounds to the point guard. His 10 rebounds is plus 124. I also like Luka threes in this matchup. Brooklyn is almost as bad as Houston. So I like Luka 10 rebounds plus 124. I also think KD 10 rebounds plus 310 makes sense. I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. I know they got Claxton, but somebody else has the rebound, and I think this is another potential, near triple-double game for Kevin Durant. So I just wanted to bring that up. And again, I was just bringing up Kispert because I think in that game it's going to be somebody we don't expect to drop, 20, 25 points. I'm not saying he's a star by no means. I don't think they have a star even with Beal on the team. That's my opinion. I don't think Bradley Beal is a star. I'm just being honest.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, so.
I was messing with you, Mumbai. Yeah, but yeah, Bill got to step up, bro. You can't keep having these 17-point games and they didn't give you $250 million, bro. I'm with you on that. Like something got to change. Yeah, that's a fact. All right, cool. Let me kick it to Bookie real quick, and then Pick 'em P. I'm gonna come to you and get my guy Ben in here too. What's up, Bookie?
It's good. Yeah. So for the stars, parlay, definitely like AD over 24.5. Similar reasoning why I took the under on the assist. in a game where LeBron and Lonnie Walker, two of their biggest scorers, are out, if this was older AD, this line would be like 26, 27.5, but he just clearly has not been himself lately. So it sounds strange to say, but I think it's almost a buy low spot, even considering the circumstances, just because of how bad he's been playing. But, against Utah, especially a team that allows a lot of points in the paint per game, not much rim protection at all, and very good against perimeter shooting. They push a lot of guys off the line. They do not give up a lot of shots at all to spot up shooters. So I think he's going to have to do his thing down low today for Los Angeles to even have a chance of competing today. So I really like that.
Yeah, but yeah, I would echo that one as well. AD actually was playing great in the first half yesterday. I actually played his point prop at they disrespected my guy. I had him at 20 and a half because he was going against Evan Mobley, and he had I think 17 at halftime and scored 2 points in the second half and still didn't finish with 21 points. And I was pissed. But I played his rebounds too. I played his solo. He had 8 rebounds at halftime. He did end up cashing the 9.5. And that was a simple, like, if the Lakers are going to be in this game at all, then AD is going to have to rebound the ball because who else going to do it? So I went 1 for 1 on those props. But I do like AD a lot tonight, 24.5. We saw, if you watched the game last night, you saw the Clippers kind of get, whatever they wanted in the paint. They dominated Utah in points in the paint. So, I think it's going to be up to guys that can make plays like Austin Reeves and maybe a guy like Kendrick Nunn to be able to knock down some shots because AD probably going to get double teamed a lot, not having some of the other playmakers. Of course, Russell Westbrook as well, but I like AD to go over his 24.5 too. I like that look a lot, Bookie. Let me kick it to Pick and P, and then I'm coming to you, Ben.
Chris, what's good? Thank you for having me up again.
Absolutely, bro.
This is for your stars and stars parlay. I ain't really find nothing that the slate was too big. I'm on a cold streak, so I can't really cap games. If you could ever, I remember last year, every once in a while you'd do these little advice shows where you just how to discipline, tips on how to cap. So it'd be cool if we could do one of those again. But for the stars parlay, I think I got a real good look. I'm surprised nobody said this. And before I even say it, I don't know. As a Knicks fan, I think KP is the weakest leg that we got so far. So I would really encourage us to find a replacement. Probably use this. Devin Booker, he's averaging 29.7 points against the Sixers, 14 games in his career. This season, shooting guards playing like over 30 minutes. RJ Barrett had 22, and he's been having a bad season if you ask me. Bradley Beal had 29 and 20. DeRozan and Levine had 24 and 20. Gary Trent had 27. These are all guys that played over 30 minutes, and Devin Vassell had 22. So I feel like taking D Book for 20 or 25 is a real good look, and you should probably take his line if you can still get it at 26.5. But that's probably your strongest leg tonight.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. So I hadn't looked at any of these updates. We got some updates. So Jabari Smith is in, Kevin Porter Jr. is in, Jalen Green is in, Ty Washington is also in. All these guys are for the Houston Rockets. Joel Embiid still remains questionable. They always manipulate the injury report with him. Shout out to Doc. Shout out to Glenn Rivers. And then we got starting rosters that I posted in the chat as well for you guys. Okay. Ben, I wanted to hear from you, bro. What's going on? How you doing, Ben?
Hey, how you doing? I'm a Cleveland guy, so I'll keep it Cleveland oriented. Since Garland's come back, he's averaging 20 potential assists per game, which is by far the most in the NBA in the last week. I think the next closest is Chris Paul at 16.7. But what's weird is that for whatever reason, I guess the books haven't caught on. Garland's assist line, at least when I took it this morning, was 7.5 at plus 105 with 20 potential assists per game. If you really want to, ladder it up, you can get his double-double still for plus 265. At least an hour ago you could. And with all the shooters that they have coming off the bench and them playing on a back-to-back, probably, with the Clippers having to defend on a back-to-back. I think 10 assists is very within reach for him tonight. The other thing is that Jared Allen didn't play a ton yesterday because he got in foul trouble early.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be pretty active today, just given that his minutes load was a little less than what it normally would be yesterday. And Garland's usually good for at least 2 pretty cheap lob kind of dunk assists to Allen basically every game. So I don't know, like just Garland double-double or Garland 7.5 assists, whichever you'd rather play, feels really good.
Yeah, I love both of those, Ben. I watched that whole game yesterday. Garland, he's just so much faster than everybody. This dude is like, and he's so unselfish too. So I love the look. A kid named Coop just hopped in on YouTube and said Garland double-double is plus 265. What book did you get that in on a kid named Coop? Let me know so I can share that with the people. But I love Garland double-double tonight. Yeah, and I love the look, Ben. I love both of the looks, bro. Absolutely. All right, so let's get back to it. So I gave you guys a couple legs that I was looking at, and I'll read. So let me get to the main plays. Let me just refresh the main plays real quick before we finish off the Stars Will Be Stars parlay. So the Cavs, I talked about them being a favorite play that I locked in yesterday. I took it again today. -1, -4, Cavs. Biggest play for me today. The Magic, first quarter, -1.5. First half, -2.5, which that line may have dropped now since everybody got ruled in for Orlando. I'm sorry for Houston, but I still like the Magic in that spot. And then the Celtics first half -1.5. Those are the plays that I put in. The lean was the Pelicans first quarter -1.5. I hadn't played that officially yet, and those were the plays that I was on. I haven't played one single player prop. I'm just kind of freestyling all this off the top of my head, coming up with things that I like. So what we talked about already was we talked about Porzingis to score 25, and I see the odds dropping, so I guess some people playing this stuff. Porzingis, 25. You can take him at his regular line, 23.5. Water it down if you want to. Paolo to score 25. You can take him at a regular line, 23.5. Brandon Ingram, 22.5. I think he's at. So 25 is plus 126. Benedict Mathurin might be the safer play over Ingram in that game. You don't have to force, 2 plays in the same game. You can just pick one. Mathurin to score 20 is plus 110. The Pelicans have taken a slight step back on defense, and I expected a lot of points to be scored in this game. And if that's going to happen, I think Mathurin could get 20 of them. So I like that. I actually like Mathurin to score 20 more than I like Ingram to score 25, especially with us not knowing the information on Zion. So I hope that makes sense. And then Finesse came in. He gave out Donovan Mitchell and Jaylen Brown. Looking at those guys. Jordan Clarkson is another one. This dude's been hooping. He absolutely killed the Clippers yesterday. Like, this dude is crazy good. Clarkson looked like he's trying to go to the All-Star game this year. Couldn't talk anybody off. Luka rebounds that was given out as well. 10 rebounds is plus 124. So it don't necessarily got to be points, right? It could be rebounds. AD I really like at 24.5. AD should score 25. He should get 30 tonight, honestly, even on the second night of a back-to-back. The Garland play that Ben just gave out, I really like that one a lot as well. Garland assists, 7.5, or you can take it at 9, at 10, whatever you want to take it at. You figure out how cautious you want to be. And then somebody else I'm looking at Ant in this game against the Knicks. And I know, the whole Popeyes thing surfacing. And if you guys didn't see the video, where Twitter was roasting Ant for just standing around on that one play where he wasn't moving. He was the only person on the floor that wasn't moving. I think he saw all that. And I think he probably goes off against the Knicks. We just saw guys with similar skill sets like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum absolutely eat the Knicks up the other day. And I'm not too overly concerned about the Knicks defense at all. I think Jaylen Brown can get his 22.5 tonight. I see him sitting at 22.5. I'm sorry, Anthony Edwards. I see him sitting at 23.5. I like Ant to go over his 23.5, maybe even score 25 in a game like this. I like Ant. I got him written down as well. I didn't place any of this yet, but I'm just kind of talking it through, looking at these games, trying to figure out what I think will happen in each one of them. So I definitely got Ant written down for 25 as well. That's like what, 5 or 6 legs right there? Let's see. That's like 6 legs right there. I'm not doing one for every single game. I think that's crazy. And like I said, break them up, take them by 2s, take them by 4s, whatever you want to do. Bucks versus Hawks. I think that could be another DeJounte game, especially if Trae Young is not ruled in, and I don't think we saw news about Trae Young yet. Portland and Miami, nothing really for me in that one, especially with Dame coming back, Simon's being questionable. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay off of that one. Chicago, Toronto, I think that could be a DeRozan spot. Even though I don't like the spot for Chicago, never mind. I take that back. Chicago's on a 3 games in 4 nights and 4 games in 6 nights and 6 games in 10 night spot. It's a spot that I didn't like for Chicago, so I'll probably stay off of that game too. But DeRozan should absolutely eat. He didn't play well in the last game. Toronto played him really, really well in Toronto, so I think he probably could get the revenge tonight, even though Zach LaVine is the guy that's more healthy in that spot. Talked about JB. Denver and the Nuggets, nothing really for me in that one. The play that somebody mentioned about Jamal Murray, I like that, though. Jamal could go for 20 in this game, especially if San Antonio keeps it close and Denver's not playing defense. We kind of talked about the Nets and the Mavs game. I know people said Durant rebounds and Luka rebounds as well. Luka points been crazy because he leads the league in scoring, so it's hard there. Anybody got anything in the Kings and the Warriors game? I know Finesse said he was on Keegan Murray, but if you guys are looking at something in that spot, let me know. I know you also said something about Clay, 15 in a win, Finesse. Anybody points for like they absolutely necessary in that spot? If the Warriors not going to play defense because they haven't, then I think you automatically got to look at Steph points. If the Kings can keep it close, then Steph going to be the guy that's going to take the big shots towards the end of the game. De'Aaron Fox. Still probably looking at Fox. Yep, Markel just said lean D Fox 25. I can see that. I think that might be my favorite leg in this one. Second game back. Fox. His point prop should be sitting at 23.5, 22.5, I think. Because I know that's what it was last week. And then the Lakers and the Jazz game, AD 25. I think that's probably my favorite one there. And then that Cavs and the Clippers game. Spread is now moved up to 5. So if you guys wanted it at 4, I hope you got it. It was at 4.5 for a long time today. It was at 4 and 4.5 for a long time today. So yeah, honestly, I think Garland assist might be my favorite play. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is going to need to score as many points. You get a low total too at 212.5. And I feel like the same way that the Clippers bullied Utah last night, if you watched the game, Marcus Morris just kept posting up the little guys. He's not going to be able to do that tonight. Cleveland got way bigger defenders, and I think this game actually could get out of hand. So I'll probably be looking at Garland assists over Donovan Mitchell points, honestly, because I feel like all of Cleveland can score. And I think Finesse mentioned it earlier. Kevin Love had a terrible game yesterday. It could be a bounce back spot for him against this Clippers team. It should be a defensive game, so I'll probably look for Garland assists. I think I like that play more than any of the other ones. I think Ben mentioned that. So that's what I got, man. Euphoria said I feel like the Nets can win tonight. Fremont said Cade points. That's a good look. Fremont. I didn't think about Cade. Cade's been hooping this year. I could definitely see Cade. I'm gonna write him down too. And then whatever I have official, I'll tweet it out to you guys. I'll probably make a little graphic with it on there. But these are really good legs that I like tonight. Like I said, you don't got to take all of them. Just pair a couple of them up together, figure out how cautious you want to be. You could dumb all of them down to, 5 points less. If you're playing on FanDuel, on a book like FanDuel or DraftKings that allows you to do so, you could take 5 points off and just parlay all of them. You can take them up to the next points to 25 if the line is sitting at 22.5. And figure out how many you want to put together. You can make a couple of them. You can make two legs. You can make 5 legs. You can make 7 legs. Whatever you want to do with them, just have some fun with it. And the biggest thing though is don't go crazy. These are sprinkles. These are quarter units. These are 1/10 of a unit. If you're $100 better, $10 on something like this, don't go too crazy. I don't like promoting parlays. I see it all the time. It's not something that I like to do. I like to cash on straight bets, even though I know people love to play parlays and it makes the sports books rich. So that's my 2 cents on that. Anything else from anybody I got up here that you guys want to share real quick before we shut it down? If not, I'll tell you guys one more time. The page that's the co-host, the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, is the page where you guys can submit your picks. Just tag the page on your play and your little write-up, and I'll retweet it so people can see it and get their plays in before. And I'm gonna try to do this every single day for you guys to get the plays out, and then you can figure out who you want to follow, who you want to tell. If it don't make sense, then that's cool too. But yeah, I'll see you guys again on Wednesday, because we do have tomorrow off for Election Day. So Wednesday I'll be trying to get back at it. Morning show, Cashed It with Chris at 7 a.m. And then the evening show, the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show, 5:15 again. This is all I got for you guys. So best of luck on all your bets tonight, man. Oh, Boombaye, what's up? I see your hand went up.
No, that was nice, man.
Oh, okay. Best of luck on all your action tonight, man. As always, I always like to say this is not financial consultation. This is theory, logic, analytics, and a lot of deep diving to try to find some cash, man. So bet with your head, don't bet over it. Don't go too crazy on a big slate. Keep some in that bankroll, because the day is only Monday. Best of luck, man. I'm out.